Well, I'm kind of sad. Today is the end of an era. The Straton Speciale is one of my favorite chronograph movements of all time. I have a kind of corner of a picture of one here on my desk mat. And it's a gorgeous chronograph from Stratton that really has a very strong 1970s vibe and is probably their most iconic watch of all time that they've ever produced. And today I received delivery, or I say the Microbrand store received the final delivery of the Straton Speciale, and it's the final production run. Stratton have told us they're not going to be producing it anymore. So kind of sad about that. Stratton have moved on to other watches. Maybe they've saturated the market. It has been for sale for a couple of years. Who knows? But I would have rather have hoped they'd bring it back in a year or two from now because it's always sold well in the store. And we've sold it, and I think Stratton have done very well with it as well. And it's the one piece everyone thinks of when they talk of Stratton. So why am I talking about this if, it's been out for a couple of years, there have been reviews already? And the reason for that is quite simple. It's kind of a swan song for Stratton in a way. They've actually come up with a new colour, which is actually rather interesting in my opinion. So the version that we have on here on the mat is the original brown colour, and you can see it has a brown chapter ring. This new colour is the same, except it has a white chapter ring, and it is a limited edition. Only 15 of these have been made, which makes it extremely rare. And they've not sold as well because Stratton only had renders, not computer-generated images of what it would look like until, I don't know, maybe a few days ago, when the watches were finally produced and started to be shipped to people. So as a result, there's still a few of these remaining. We bought a number, we've sold out, apart from we've got one left, and this one, I'm keeping this one for myself. I took it out of stock the moment I saw this when it arrived. I just loved the look of it. And I think it goes extremely well because the white on the chapter ring is kind of a off-white, so a little bit more of a vintage look to it. Goes extremely well with the Swiss Superluminova loom on the indices, which kind of look white in daylight. So there was nothing else that was really white on the original watch. Everything was very brown on the dial, or brown and orange. So the white was kind of a little bit overpowered and didn't really fit in, but now it's a very balanced design. I actually prefer this a lot, and collectors should prefer this just because it's so limited. So this isn't a pitch because I'm guessing we'll probably be sold out by the time I've edited this video and published it, or we'll have just one left. But Stratton themselves have 6 or 7 left in their store, so you could get one from them. Obviously we're slightly cheaper typically, but if we're sold out, definitely hit Stratton's site. And it's a gorgeous watch. It's only available in the Swiss ETA Valjo 7750 chronograph movement, so the more expensive movement. For retail net's 1,199. But it is a really nice chronograph movement and doesn't just have a date window, but also has a day of the week window as well, which is a nice touch because that is one of the things you do get with this movement. Not all watches show the date, but show the day of the week as well as the date, but certainly a nice touch on Stratton's part. Adds a little bit more functionality, and I wish more brands would do that when using that particular movement. But it's a gorgeous watch. I don't need to harp on the looks, 1970s vintage racing chronograph vibes, and the particular cushion case with the steeply sloped sides. So I won't talk so much about the looks because I think the looks sell themselves and have been covered very well in other reviews. However, I will talk about 1 or 2 features of this watch that are not obvious. Stratton may also have the $499 or thereabouts Seiko VK67 Mecha Quartz version, which is the same look to it but slightly cheaper. I don't think it has the day of the week. It probably has the date. And then one of the registers is going to be 60 minutes as opposed to 30, but still has a 12-hour register on the chronograph. So that is a nice Mecha Quartz. It has an instant reset, which is the feature you want in a Mecha Quartz. But for me, the extra feature I really like in the VK60 series is the fact that the main chronograph hand kind of simulates the sweep of a automatic mechanical hand, in that it ticks 5 times per second. So that is a nice cheap alternative if you don't mind what's on the inside. I believe, just check my notes, it should be a couple of millimeters thinner as well. So the height on that's 13 millimeters, the height on this is 15. I really don't mind the 15, I much prefer the Swiss movement on this. But then I'm really into mechanical watches more than quartz watches, so really it's up to you with your taste. The quartz will be a little bit more accurate, it'll be a little bit lighter and 2 millimeters thinner. But anyway, it's pretty much personal taste. So this is a hidden gem in a way, I think, because the fact that really there were no pictures of this before it was produced. There are only going to be 17 of them. There's only probably like 7 or 8 left, not sold at this point. That's why I thought I'd put this video together, just to help people out, anybody who's a friend or anybody who follows my channel. Then basically I want you guys to have an opportunity to pick up something that's probably going to be pretty rare and should do very well. There are obviously other colors as well. As far as the Microbrand store goes, I've got one of these right now, and I've got this one in here as well, which is a blue, just to show you a different color. And that's it. I'm completely sold out. We always sell out really quickly, and we sold out of everything during the pre-orders pretty much. So this blue version is fairly similar in that all of the other colors have a white chaptering, which makes this one more consistent. But the blue, you know, it's just a slightly different color version, but otherwise is pretty much the same watch. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Go for the color that you like. One other point I'm going to make about this watch, a couple of points. Normally I wouldn't go for a fully polished case like this. The fully polished case looks better, no doubt, than a brushed case, because it really accentuates the cushion case and the steep and sided curves on the case, and looks really sharp. Definitely I'm loving this case, and it's my favorite choice, but I normally wouldn't go for that, for the simple reason that they tend to scratch, and you tend to see scratches much more easily than on a brushed case. Well, the finish on these cases, this is a really nice touch I wouldn't normally expect to see in a chronograph, is a DLC finish, which is the hardest you can get. It's a diamond-like carbon finish. So in the same way that sapphire crystal is extremely scratch resistant, you need something like a diamond to scratch it, i.e. carbon-based, then it's the same with this finish. Obviously it's a clear coat finish on the watch, it's probably microns thick. I have heard that they can wear out after a number of years. I have no idea what that is, 10 years or whatever. Though I don't know if that's true or not, but perhaps somebody can, if they know more about that than I do, they're welcome to comment on that. But the point is, as you get this watch, it's pretty scratch resistant. You know, if I'm not going to have to worry about some odd bangs or scratching it up very much. So I much prefer the look of this, and I would recommend going with this just because it has that DLC finish. The crystal is, of course, sapphire crystal, as you would expect. Another nice hidden feature of this watch, because you wouldn't guess it from looking at it, it's a gorgeous chronograph, is that it also has a 100-meter water rating on it. Obviously, you don't want to be pushing the pushers, you know, the start, stop, or the reset while you're underwater. It's got a screw-down crown. But, you know, if you put this on a bracelet or a NATO strap, you could actually go swimming with this, or some diving. I really wouldn't want to do diving with a watch like this, just in case I did bang the pushers. But the point is, you can splash around, have some fun, you know, jump in the pool. So you could be going out dressed smartly, whatever, or just not worry about your day pretty much. So this could become an everyday wear for me, potentially. I'm keeping this one. This one's a keeper. Obviously, I wear other watches. I tend to rotate my collection, but this is a really gorgeous brown that will go with a lot of things that I have. And just looks really good, kind of a summery look to it. It's cheerful, it's got a lovely sunburst. But the watch itself is extremely well built and has some really strong vintage styling. So that's pretty much it from me. I will suggest one last thing, which is, if you're going to get one of these watches, get the Stratton bracelet. Sorry, this one's not open. I just pulled it out of one of our storage boxes, as we do sell these too. It has a fold-over safety clasp, but the important thing that I like about this is it has a double push button release rather than a friction release, which I absolutely hate. So it's a nicely made clasp. It's only got 3 micro adjusts, but that should be more than enough as the links aren't particularly long here. And it's a very flexible, as you can see, it does flex quite a bit, which means it's going to be very comfortable on the wrist. And importantly, the styling on this, you actually have some very deep curves on the on the links. And as a result of that, it really adds to the styling of the watch. And because it's a short lug length here, this is a very nice option on your straps. It probably doesn't show very well here, so I'll put up some pictures. But definitely, if you're going to buy a watch that's 100-meter rated, why not get the Stratton bracelet with it, the official one that says Stratton on the bracelet itself. And then you'll have, I don't know if you ever think about selling a watch in future. I always buy every watch because I want to keep it. But the reality is I'll probably sell some watches after some time. Your collection gets too large, you want to thin it, move on. The limited editions should do pretty well because it's rare, so it should be desirable. It is their most iconic watch, and Stratton have been around since 2015. So I would recommend that as a watch that will probably be fairly easy to pass on if it's in good condition. And get one of these bracelets even if you don't intend to wear it, because all leather strips will wear out at some point or another. And then you'll have one of these straps one of these bracelets you can put it on, and it does look good on the bracelet. Or you could just, if you're intending to wear it a lot and go out and about and have it more of a field watch, even though it obviously doesn't have the looks of a field watch, then why not get one of these anyway? So that will be my suggestion. They're, I think, something like $50 for retail. Definitely would recommend that as well. And these go extremely well on other straps too. I mean, I have this NATO strap here. Picked it up pretty cheap, AliExpress. It's a French parachute style NATO strap. So you kind of hook it on like this, and it's a little stretchy, and then you can adjust the size here. So this one's also easy to wear, and it goes super well color-wise. The colors just go extremely well with this. So that is an easy strap you can pick up. Can't remember the price. If I can remember the link, I'll put it up for you guys. But probably it's $10 or so, just from typically what I'd expect to pay for one of these on AliExpress. Just have to be patient, wait for it to arrive. So that is another good option as well. That's it from me. If you have any questions, just ask, let me know, and if I can address them, I will. I think this is a gorgeous watch. I'm so happy I didn't sell out of these before they arrived, so I was able to nab one because I had no clue it would turn out as nice as it did. I thought it would be pretty nice anyway, as I like the brown. But the white chaptering turned out to be a keeper for me. So definitely one that I would expect to be keeping permanently and probably in my main rotation as well for the foreseeable future. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks a lot. Take care.